From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
What's up, world? It's the one and only Pop DBICD Primetime Capper. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great. I hope you are feeling the same. Man, I'm telling you, it took a lot for me to make it today because we were supposed to do the show this morning. Jeff was a little under the weather, and pretty much I was feeling a little under the weather too a little bit this morning. So I'm over here. I made it. That's all it is about. I made it. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Titans shocked the Dolphins with late comeback to win 28-27. Big win there, big game, big win for the Titans on a confidence build. And it's a bad loss for the Dolphins, but it's not a loss that you say, oh my God, the Dolphins are through. They're not good enough to be talking elite stuff and blah, 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 blah. This is the end of the season. This is what I keep trying to explain to everybody is that we're not at the first 10 weeks of the season anymore. Okay. Teams have improved. Teams have figured out who's good for the roster, who's bad for the roster. Coaches have figured out who their real players are in a sense because this is grind time. And when I say it's grind time, it's bigger than just, making the playoffs. Guys are trying to stay in the league as well too. So, you have to be good at this point of the year. And these teams don't lay down. Like everybody wants everybody to tank. Everybody wants everybody to be bums, all that stuff. But these are grown-ass men, and they're not going to fall for that, dude. They want to win football games just as bad as their fans want to win football games, even more. Because what's the point of training for 12 months out the year to go be a bum for 4 months out the year? You know what I mean? So, no, they don't want to do that. They want to keep this good gravy train going of money as well, too. When you look at the numbers last night, Will Levis was incredible. 23-38, one touchdown, one interception. He was sacked once. Derrick Henry didn't have a great night. Let's keep it real. 34 yards, 17 carries. That was awful, but still, he was able to score 2 touchdowns that were key to winning this game last night. And you know what? The player of the game last night, no doubt about it, DeAndre Hopkins. DeAndre Hopkins really did shred that Dolphins defense. And so, you know what? Everything makes a lot of sense of why this team was able to win this game last night because they had the weapons to win the game last night. Derrick Henry is considered top 5 running backs in the league. DeAndre Hopkins is considered top 5 wide receivers in the league. They're just having a down season with a rookie quarterback who came in midway through the season. But at the end of the day, they're building something here. They're trying to figure something out. They're not going to make the playoffs this year. But still, the Titans were one of the teams that I had in a high regard this year. They just had a bad start to the season. That's all it is, man. And they got themselves a very good win against a beatable Dolphins team because you guys got to understand the Dolphins are very good. But at the same time, too, they're a little beatable. Last night, Tua continued a very good effort, but he got sacked 5 times last night, threw for 0 touchdowns. Jalen Waddle had 6 catches on 79 yards before Hill went out of the game. It looked like he was about to have another 100-yard game. He winds up hurting his ankle last night, so he couldn't finish the game last night. And you know what? They got a good effort from Mostert as well, too. It was the defense that killed him in the end. That's all it is. The defense did not get to the quarterback enough. They had 1 sack last night, and they had a pick 6 turnover from a defensive lineman, but they forced 3 turnovers from what I can see here. Well, the Titans forced 3 turnovers. I'm sorry. And they were able to get some big moments here in this game. Who forced the turnovers? It was the Dolphins who forced turnovers because I see 3 turnovers here, and they still lost the game. That's crazy. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. Great win for the Titans, bad loss for the Dolphins. We move on to week 15. What can you do about it? The Dolphins got a game next week. Titans got a game next week. It's nothing to dwell on. It was Monday Night Football. And you know what? Guys play up to Monday Night Football. We're on national television. They're not going to embarrass themselves. All right. So with that, we move forward. Let's go ahead and jump into the Giants game, which was the ABC game, pretty much the main event. You know what I mean? And the Giants find a way to win with the walk-off field goal against the Packers, winning 24-22. That was kind of deflating for the Packers because the Packers have worked themselves back to 6-6. They were looking pretty good, about to win this game. They're in the playoff picture, all that good stuff. And then you know what the Giants said? Enough is enough. Let's go ahead and get this win tonight. Tommy DeVito. Man, oh man. The guy was awesome at Syracuse. And Syracuse was a top 10 team at one point. They are a top 10 team that literally went into Notre Dame and got absolutely dragged, but they were a top 10 team, and Tommy DeVito was the leader of that team. And it's so funny, a few weeks back, they had a whole bunch of jokes like, is this Danny DeVito cousin? Is this Danny DeVito love child? Now, you know what? He's going to get a free meal in New York City for the rest of the season. You know what I mean? Tommy DeVito is an absolute fun story. He lives with his parents. He's the backup quarterback. The whole neighborhood came out to watch him play last night. It was just incredible. And then he was able to do what the good quarterbacks are able to do. He was able to ride the decoy last night, which was Saquon Barkley. And then he was able to get these receivers that have been very, very, middling all season or below average to really be good last night. And that's incredible for a guy who's not considered as a quarterback that's even, average in this league. It's just that you got to throw him in there. But I think that Tommy DeVito was the absolute right idea because we've already seen what the other backup could do. You know what I mean? The Tyrod Taylor's been on like half the teams in the NFL, dude, and there's a reason for that. So, it's good to give the quarterback the chance that who's young, cheap, and that you're developing. And that's exactly what they did last night. And it was a great effort. Jordan Love continues to impress me. He continues to impress me. I love the way Jordan Love plays this football game. And, he just continues to impress me so much this season about his progress as a starter in this league, but being a good starter in this league, a guy who you can really trust to win these games. And, Jordan Love last night, 218 yards, 25 of 39, one touchdown, one interception. They were crafty last night. They're real deceptive, and that's what makes it fun to watch him because he's a good deceptive quarterback. He knows how to play around with the RPO a little bit as well too. AJ Dillon had 53 yards last night. They needed a little bit more from the run game. Also, we had a very good the receiving game was pretty good last night as well too. They another great player emerged in Tucker Kraft, you know what I mean? And they got a good touchdown last night with a very fun play that they did with Reed. Taylor was pretty good last night as well too. So, there's a lot of good things going on with this team. There's a lot of fun things going on with this team as well too. And I know that they are excited about what's moving next. Even though New York got the good win last night, that was a great win for a team that's been struggling. And the craziest part about it is the Giants have won 3 in a row. That's nuts. After the Cowboys absolutely decapitated this team, they've been resilient in their last 3 games. So this is incredible. And you know what? It's scary to say this. They're 5-8. But they have an opportunity to actually make the playoffs if they were able to win their next 4 games in a row. It's going to be difficult because you got 2 road games coming up next, and then you finish up the season with the Rams in Philadelphia. So, and the Rams are going to be chasing a playoff spot. And Philadelphia is probably going to be chasing positioning in the playoffs as well, too. So you got that situation there as well, too. So, with that, we move forward. Great game from them last night. They kind of upended, and now they own a tiebreaker against the Green Bay Packers. If when it's all said and done, they wind up with the same record. So pretty much with that, let's go ahead and move forward to our next topic in hand, which is going to be in the boxing world. Devin Haney humiliates Regis Prograis in showdown in San Francisco, captures the WBC title at 140. And, it was funny because Regis said, I'm going to beat this boy up. I'm going to do this to this boy. I'm going to do that to this boy. And then I'm going to do this to this boy. And then at the end of the night, that motherfucker good. Yeah, okay. So he needed 12 rounds of fighting Devin Haney. Devin Haney actually knocked him down in the third round as well, too. Devin Haney put on an absolute boxing clinic on Saturday night. He was incredible. He's showing that he has the look, the work ethic, and the absolute drive to be one of the greats at this point in time. Devin Haney is an absolute problem. And, a lot of people don't like this, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. This guy is a absolute gem of a fighter. He's putting the work. They've done the homework. And you know what? They're shot callers. They can do exactly what they want. And that pisses off a lot of people because everybody wants the guy that is told by what to do by his promoter. Everybody wants that guy. But you know what? At the end of the day, there's about 6 guys right now that really call their own shots in this business. And you know what? They're probably some of the most hated people in the business because they're able to fight who they want, when they want, fight for belts when they want, all that good stuff, because they have figured out the financial portion of boxing. And a lot of people don't get that part of boxing. And Devin Haney and his father, they have really worked on being able to be their own promoters. They don't go into any deal with the idea that they're going to be somebody's fighter. You know what I mean? They are a co-promotion, and they'll sign a few fight deals with you, all that good stuff, and they'll move on from there. Like Top Rank, they did their 3 fights. Their 3 fights were quick. They did them all in 1 year. Then they come back around the next year. In the next year, well, my bad. Loma was this year. It was so long ago that you just kind of forget. But from bouncing back from where people feel like he nearly lost and then dominating the way that he did, it shows that some people are kind of blind when they're watching these fights. They're really just not a fan of the boxer. So they're going to sit up here and come up with all types of conspiracy theories and all types of ways to discredit everything this man does. But at the end of the day, they said that Regis was going to be the one that stops him. Regis is the one that got his hands. Regis got this. Regis got that. Regis didn't have a damn thing on Saturday night. And he didn't have a damn thing, but wow. I'm pretty middling at best. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's a 2-time world champion in one of the weaker divisions in all of boxing all time. It's a stepstone division. I don't care what anybody says. Be mad. I've been watching boxing for almost 40 years, and 140 has never been an elite division. It does not matter. It's a stepping stone division. It's a sidecar division. We are in very drastic days in boxing now. They are overhyping junior bantamweight fights now. And, this is how bad it's gotten in boxing because the heavyweights just won't cooperate. So, Devin Haney is just use this as another name on the resume, and he has a wide open array of fighters to fight. You got Matias, you got Teofimo Lopez, you got Ryan Garcia, and I'm not going to mention this because it's never going to happen. Tank Davis, it's not going to happen, though. You guys just have to understand that part. And you know what? I would say this Shakur is about 18 months away because they just don't want to, douse Shakur's fire that quickly because that fight turns into more of Zab Judah and Floyd Mayweather part 2. And you don't want to sit up there and really take away from the guy while he's still building up his character as well, too. There's just not enough. It's just not ready yet, in my opinion, because if Dev wins the fight, it was a high risk, small reward. If Shakur wins the fight, it winds up being a situation where he gets a lot of love from that, but he gets more avoided because of that. And it is what it is. It's just not a fight that's ready at this point. You guys can get mad all you want to, but I do understand the sport very well, and I'm a little bit more in the business than most of y'all. So it's not a little bit either, but it is what it is at the end of the day. But it is we move forward. Great night. Let's go ahead and jump into fight week this week, which is going to be with David Morrell headlines the last Showtime card, man. The final Showtime card, and man, it's emotional. You know what I mean? Is he becoming the most avoided though? That's the question. And I think that David Morrell is an absolute talent. I think David Morrell is gradually overlooked. But you know what? David Morrell fights in a division once again that's not a division that you really consider a top flight division. But when you get to this weight level, you can. You know what I mean? 160, 168, 160, 175. This is the boxers division. This is the true boxers division. This is speed and power. This is when speed and power meet. Okay. And David Morrell is a great example of a powerful fighter that knows exactly what he's doing. He knows how to place his punches. He knows how to go ahead and just get rid of guys. That's the whole thing. That's what he does. But he does have a tough fight this weekend. The guy does seem like he's a no-name, but they're never no-names if they're at this level. I'm sorry. They're just never a no-name if they're at this level. I know you guys like to call people cans and all this other extra stuff, but if they're fighting at the top level, if they're fighting on Showtime, if they're fighting on ESPN in main events, they don't suck, okay? If they're on that main undercard, they don't suck, okay? They're not cans. They're just overwhelmed. That's all it is. And this weekend, David Morrell has to overwhelm his opponent to keep the aura going, because they're looking for a fight to where he has issues and say, oh, he's not ready yet. Even though it feels like it would be a great time for this to be the stepping stone fight for him to fight David Benavidez, as both of them use each other as the last level before Canelo. And I think that, in all honesty, the person that does have the opportunity at Canelo at this point is David Benavidez. But Morrell can go ahead and damper things, but Morrell can go ahead and wait for them to fight each other and fight the winner of that situation as well too. Or he can move up and fight Dimitri Bivol, which would be a much tougher fight than fighting either Benavidez or Canelo, in my opinion. So David Morrell can take his time. He can do a lot of great things at this level. He may not want to start actually trying to figure out a way to where he can start demanding mandatory fights as well too. He is the regular WBA champion, so he can go ahead and order for that fight against Canelo once Canelo gets done doing what he does. But it is what it is at the end of the day. David Morrell is an absolute prospect. Is still, in my opinion, but he's a prospect, a high-level prospect in the graces of the Mike Tyson and Lomachenko and guys that were just absolute warriors when they got into the business. You know what I mean? So it is what it is. This is going to be a fun fight this weekend. You also got Chris Colbert and the Rayo rematch on the card as well too. It's going to be a great weekend in Minnesota to go ahead and wrap this thing up with Showtime as PBC moves forward to Prime, Amazon Prime, and most likely there probably will be another deal confirmed with a network sometime in 2024 or in the coming weeks with the PBC umbrella that has housed some of the greatest fights over the last 5 years as well too. And you can argue with as much as you want, but at the end of the day, they are the ones that everybody pulls up to see. That's the ones that get all the attention when it's time to talk fight week and all that good stuff. And this is the group that everybody really does look to when it comes to putting on the best events. And that's what it's all about in boxing, putting on the best events, not just the best fights, but the best events that get people coming back for more. So with that, we're going to go ahead and take our first commercial break. When I get back, we're talking all hoops. So you guys go ahead and stay tuned. This is the Premier Sports Betting Show, the PrimeTime Angles with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Capper.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners and I'll Have Another and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.
Tune into Big Wave Boxing every week with a brand new guest with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Capper, getting the best boxing stories, best boxing angles, and the truth when it all comes down to the sweet science. Tune into Big Wave Boxing on the Prime Wave Media channel on YouTube.
All right, here we are. Here it is. Let's go ahead and jump into it. First, we got the Lakers. State of the Lakers. Lakers defending in-season champions. You know what I mean? Everybody's over here making a big deal about the Lakers hanging up the banner, even though the NBA forced that move so they could go ahead and have recognition for the in-season tournament. You got to do right by your association. You know what I mean? People are so miserable nowadays, dude. Like, damn, just let folks do what they want to do. Jeez Louise, dude, it's okay to hang up a banner, dude. Golly. I know the Lakers are always into hanging up NBA finals, things like that. But you know what? Kobe ain't mad in heaven watching them put up a damn, what's called. Kobe would much rather be here and be able to still do his thing. You know what I mean? What are you talking about? You know, seriously, just Laker fans are so unsatisfied, and NBA fans are so unsatisfied when it comes to the Lakers. But if it's any of the 29 other teams, they can celebrate it. They can have a parade about it. They can run down the street about it. But when it comes to the Lakers, it's always about the finals. And even if the finals isn't a full season, then that's a problem as well, too. So at the end of the day, who runs the league? The Lakers. So they get back to business tonight. They're going against the Mavericks. The Mavericks are playing great basketball right now. Kyrie and Luka are doing their thing. They're looking like Sidney Dean and Billy Hoyle right now, just killing it. You know, Luka's confident enough to talk trash back to every fan base now and all that good stuff. And, you know, it just becomes a really funny situation with these teams. You know, you got the Mavericks and Lakers on TNT tonight. Lakers have won their last 4 in a row. Mavericks won their last 3 in a row. Both teams are winning records. You got the Lakers 14-9. You got the Mavs 14-8. If we played the playoffs today, these teams wouldn't meet up, but they would. I'm sorry, because Sacramento jumped the Lakers. So pretty much if the playoffs were to start today, they would be playing each other. So, you know, this is a good way to measure each other in a sense. Dallas won the first game. And it was a little back and forth, but Dallas was able to get that game in fun fashion. Also, you gotta look at it in the sense as well too. Dallas is still remembering beating the Lakers at the buzzer, but the Lakers remember being down 27 points in Dallas last year and pretty much starting the downfall of the Dallas Mavericks from making the playoffs last year. So it's a really, really fun game. When you look at everything on the X's and O's, Dallas is the better offense right now, without a doubt. But the Lakers do have the two core players that can really affect this game. If AD and LeBron have a big game, then the Lakers can really do exactly what they want. They got Vando back. You got Gabe Vincent on the way back as well too. The Lakers are about to be a full unit. So once they become the full unit, I think that what comes down to it is the Lakers will become a better team in the West, where they'll be more into the top echelon of things, because how long will Minnesota be able to hold this top seed? They're 17-4 right now, but scheduling has been a good friend to them as well too. And I like Minnesota. You know, I picked Minnesota to start the season off to win their division at plus 550, and I also said they will be an NBA semifinal team this year as well too, meaning that they will be in the West semis or possibly in the West finals as well too, because that's how good this team is. I think that they're better than Denver. Denver's fresh off of a championship, but Denver doesn't have as much depth as Minnesota. So you know how that goes. Now, Dallas, on the other hand, they'll probably be adding on something mid-season. Lakers, we all know that even though they got great chemistry going on, there's 2 or 3 players over there that they know that they're going to use as trade bait to get in somebody significant that can help them really push to the finals. So the Lakers tonight, this is going to be a good game. It's tough to pick a winner here, but I will say that you play the scoreboard tonight, and I think, and we're gonna play the. I'm getting it for you now. Damn, I thought I had it there. The Lakers tonight. I would say tonight. This is a fun night. So hopefully they can get this bad boy home for us with the bet, because I'm not taking any sides, but I will say this game goes under tonight, under 231. The spread is a 4.5 to the Lakers, so you know somebody's out for the Mavericks that's significant tonight. Probably Kyrie. Yeah, it is Kyrie. Kyrie got the foot issue, so they got him out tonight, but that doesn't mean that the Lakers are a sure thing in this game, but I think the over does happen in this game. So with that, let's move forward. Let's jump into our NBA Tuesday night, and we got 4 more games tonight. And up first, we got the Cavs 13-10, Celtics 16-5, 11.5 point spread tonight, over and under 224.5. So this should be a really, really fun game tonight in Boston. So what's up, Tay? How's everything going, brother? Hope you good down there in Florida. If you're in Florida right now, I know you go back and forth to Florida to the ATL, but that's a guy that's been rocking with me for like the last 6 years as well too, on the bets and everything. Being a guy that shows up for the shows, all that good stuff, and has supported many of my endeavors as well too. So thank you, Tay. It's always good to see you. Very a guy who's been with me, an exclusive client over time, you know what I mean? And, you know, he's one of these guys that have stuck. You know, that's why I always say that when you're a client of mine, you're pretty much a client you're a client pretty much forever, because really nobody really never wants to leave, because they always are getting the high value, you know what I mean, at the end of the day. But, you know, I look at this game, Cavaliers are looking to put themselves in position to get a little bit closer to the Bucks. You know what I mean? It's been a kind of a rough roll this year, because they'll be really good at one point and then they'll be really bad at one point. And when you look at the situation, you say to yourself, okay, you got this team, you got this Cavs team, they're 3rd place right now in the Central Division. You know, you're looking to get these guys going. Donovan Mitchell doing his job, 27 points a game. Evan Mobley getting 10.5 rebounds a game. Garland's getting 6 assists. And then Garland and Mobley's getting 1.7 blocks, almost 2 blocks a game. So he'll be up there for the Defensive Player of the Year this year as well. So you got to look at that. He's possibly going to be an all-star as well, too. And then, yeah, I love it. We got legal gambling down in Florida right now. I can't wait to get back to Miami and go have a good time. Oh, yeah. Have a good time over at the Hard Rock and bet up some games and everything like that. Then take my butt on over to Gulfstream and see what I can do with the Florida Ponies. You know what I mean? Because they are always hitting for some big numbers down there. You just got to pick correctly. So, when you look at this game, though, you got 2 teams that have played each other a few times this year, And their games have been really good. And tonight, I really feel like what we do here is we look at the scoreboard because it's an 11.5-point spread, but you can't trust the Boston to cover that situation. So I'll take the over 224 because I feel like points will be scored in this game tonight. And it seems like since the Cavs are shorthanded tonight, that they'll have other guys stepping it up, or they'll just be giving up a lot of points tonight. So I like it. Over 224. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out. We move forward from there. All right. We have ourselves up next being the Nuggets and the Bulls. The Nuggets and the Bulls. This is going to be a fun game tonight. You have a Nuggets team coming here 15-9. Good win last night against the Hawks. Bulls 9-15 plus 7.5-point spread as well. Over under at 219.5. But it's a back-to-back, and they haven't really been that great in back-to-backs on the road. So, this team is now feeling pretty good now. They find themselves 9-9 since going 6-0, so they're back to 500. But doesn't matter. They gave themselves a 6-game cushion, so that's where they're at this point. So when you look at the way that this game shapes up, you look at the way that it's looking, you really say to yourself that this should be a good night by the Bulls because the Bulls are probably going to be overlooked. This is going to be everybody's money line money line lock tonight. And usually when you have these money line locks, they don't work out the way that you want them to, in my opinion. I think that tonight, this is one of those games where the Bulls are going to really, really bring it tonight. I'm going to take them with the plus 7.5. I'm looking at the Bulls numbers coming into the game. They've struggled a bit, but they should be good tonight because they won 4 in a row before losing to Milwaukee last night. And then you had a Nuggets team that had lost 3 in a row and then wound up winning by 7 last night. Now they're back at home, confident, where they have won 3 games in a row. And I think that by them playing so well at home, they'll be able to find that motivation once again tonight, and they'll figure out a way to beat the Nuggets tonight. But I think we'll play the safe side and play the actual spread plus 7.5. But if you had to ask me who's the winner tonight, let's go ahead and roll the dice and take the Nuggets with the plus 7. I mean, not the Nuggets, goddamn. I'm sorry, the Bulls with the plus 7.5. So with that, we move forward. And let's move on to our next game, which is going to be the Suns and the Warriors. Warriors coming in here 10-12, Suns 12-10, minus 1.5 point spread, over under a 231.5 for this game. Now, you got a team in the Warriors that really are going through the motions. They are going to blow this thing up. Let's just keep it real. They're going to blow this thing up. That's why they brought Chris Paul in early, so then they can have an asset to move. But Chris Paul has been playing great basketball. He leads the team in assists, and he also leads the team in steals as well too. Curry's is having a career year. He's almost 30 points a game, 29.4. But Curry's scoring too much because he doesn't have enough. That's the whole thing. Kevin Durant, 31 points a game. Nurkic is doing a great job as well too, getting his 9 rebounds a game. That's exactly what Kevin needs him to do. And then Booker's actually upped his assist game, but I think I need more from Devin Booker. I think I do, because Devin Booker getting 8 assists a game is great, but you need Devin to be scoring more points because you're putting too much pressure on KG, in my opinion. But he's getting 27.4. So the guy is putting himself in an MVP conversation, and they do have one of the better duos in the NBA, but they do need more from their support players. At some point, they need Bradley Beal to play 5 games in a row consistently. And it just works like that. Now we figured out that Bradley Beal had a bad back the whole time in Washington. That's why he wasn't able to ever play to his full expectation while he was there, but he did get paid. You know what I mean? And that's what's wrong with today's NBA is that people are getting paid because they had 2 good seasons. And I think that's absolutely stupid. So pretty much, you trade him to Phoenix so then they can foot the bill on this player who's not doing much. He got 17 points a game. He's getting 17 points a game, but his expectation was to get his 22 points a game because they was looking at these guys to score at least 80 points as a group each and every night together. So, there's a lot of things that need to be fixed on the Phoenix side when it comes to continuity And then when it comes to the Warriors, they need consistency. So there's a lot of things that go into this game. But tonight, I'm going to do it like this. I feel like the Suns absolutely scorched the Warriors, who they've absolutely had their number over the last few years. And let's go ahead and see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out. But I'm taking the Suns tonight with the minus 115 money line. All right, so let's move forward. Let's go ahead and jump into our next, which is going to be this. The Clippers and the Kings. This game is going to be at Crypto tonight. You got the Clippers 12-10. You got the Kings 13-8. The Clippers are a 3.5-point favorite. Over under 236.5 tonight as well too. And then you have a Clippers team that's getting it back into motion. They've won their last 4 out of 5 games, including their last 4 in a row. You have a Kings team that's won their last 2 in a row, won their last 3 out of 5 as well. And they got a good win against Brooklyn last night. So, they beat them by 13, but they're coming into this game. It's going to be a little tough because you throw up 131 the night before. You are going to be feeling it a little bit coming into the next game. But they did get a good win over Phoenix the game before that at Phoenix. And, the Clippers have been playing good. The good win over the Warriors, they won by 1. Then they had a great win over the Nuggets, beating them by 9. And then they blew out the Jazz. And then last night they kind of got into a back and forth with the Blazers, but they still wound up winning that game by 5. They scored a lot of points last night as well, too. So with the way the Kings have been playing at Crypto, I would say this is an easy call for me because the Kings just really do step up for these games now. You know what I mean? All those years of getting their butts beat in LA, it was really like, man, it got a little embarrassing after a while. But the last few years, they've been really been game on when they come to LA. And I think that De'Aaron Fox has a monster game tonight. That's why I'm going to go ahead and take the Kings with the plus 135 as my dog of the day. So with that, I feel like we are in good position. And I think that the Clippers should have a good game tonight. It's going to be a really good one. It's always good ones at Crypto when you put these two together. So, let's go ahead and jump on it and take that money line tonight and see how it goes, see how it shakes out, plus 135 on the Kings. Now, let's go ahead, take our final break of the show, and when I get back, we will talk those tickets. So you guys stay tuned. This is the Premier Sports Betting Show, the PrimeTime Angles with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Capper.
Daily games competing against other players. Bring home the glory and the cash, and move up the annual leaderboard while you leave your competition in the dust. Get in the game with Stable Duel. Play, race, win.
Good News Only Racing Club, led by the legendary Doug O'Neill, the trainer of 2 Kentucky Derby winners and I'll Have Another and Nyquist. Also trained 2-time Breeders' Cup champ Golden Sense, who are just a part of a long list of thoroughbred champions trained by Doug O'Neill. The Good News Only Racing Club has a young core of horses to look out for in Dennis's Celery, Irish Heatwave, and Notre Dame, just to name a few. Win the day every day with the Good News Only Racing Club, a proud sponsor of the NFL Bet Exchange.
All right, we are at our final segment of the show. Your favorite segment, my favorite segment, none other than Talkin Tickets. This is how we made a business. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into it. Up first is the Pick 6, CBB PrimeTime PK6. Now, I did say it was going to be a dog day Pick 4, but you know what? With the way that these games are kind of lined up, what's the point of doing that? That's a fun wish bet. I don't want to put you guys in a position where we just wish betting. I want to make sure that we got 4 solid plays in that group where we have 4 really good dogs. We didn't have 4 really good dogs for today, so I had to skip out of that situation because everything was pretty much double-digit spread tonight. So up first, we got Seton Hall playing against Mammoth in a Big East Metro battle. So, this always measures very well for both conferences to where their teams are sitting at. So I do like Seton Hall tonight with the minus 15. You got Georgia State tonight playing in a tune-up game somewhat, and they should be really competitive, but they're going to get beat, but hopefully they don't get beat by more than 35. So I'm going to take them with the plus 34.5. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out. Wright State's playing against Western Kentucky tonight in probably the most competitive game. I'm going to take Wright State because it's a home game. I know that their crowd's going to be into it because they have a lot of excitement going on with that team this year. So I'll take the 5.5 on Wright State. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it shakes out. Austin Peay is always a team that will surprise you. You know what I mean? There's no reason to not take them. They could possibly win this game tonight, but I think the plus 12 is the better bet for us here. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it shakes out. And then, oldie but goodie, you already know, Oral Roberts played in enough tournaments, all that good stuff. We're very used to Oral Roberts as a team, and Oral Roberts always does present the upset element as well. But I think tonight they'll just keep this game really close and lose by 10 or less, in my opinion. And then you have Oregon tonight minus 12. Oregon tonight. So Oregon has the late night game, the nightcap game, the game that you're supposed to win by more than 20 points. But you know what? Oregon's not the same old Oregon that we're used to. They'll probably get better as they get to conference play. But right now, I will take Oregon with the minus 12 to see how to go ahead and cap off this 45-1 ticket. Hopefully, we can get this home. You put the 20 on it, you get 900. If you put the 40 on it, you get 1,800. So is you with me? Is you with me? You know what I mean? And then if you just want to put $10 on it, you get $450 back. And if you want to put 5 on it, you get $225 back. So, you got yourself a good little play here. You know what I mean? What do you think about it? You got yourself a good play here, son. So it is what it is. That's going to be a 45-1 primetime pick 6. We move forward from there. All right. We have ourselves the NBA Super High 5, 29-1. We got the under 231 Lakers and Mavs. We got the over 224 Cavs and Celtics tonight. I like the Bulls tonight, plus 7.5. Also, you can go ahead and sprinkle something on that money line as well, too. We got the Suns money line minus 115. And then we wrap it up with the dog of the day, the Kings money line plus 135. So that's going to be our tickets for tonight. And with that, that's going to be a wrap on today's show. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys are the absolute best. I think, pretty much you guys are the greatest fans in the world. And I'm glad that you guys do tune into the show every single day and enjoy the show. And then I know there's some people that don't enjoy the show, but okay, it's cool. You still tuned in. So it is what it is at the end of the day. So pretty much with that, make sure you retweet, you share the show, you tell your friends about it, get these numbers up. That's what it's all about. We're trying to go into 2024 in a prime position to be one of the better shows on the internet. So you guys make sure we keep this movement moving. You know what I mean? So with that, I thank you guys so much. And as I always like to say, bet with your head, not with your heart. The movement is moving. And this is the premier sports betting show, the PrimeTime Angles with the one and only Pop DiBiase, the PrimeTime Capper. And I am gone.
From the East and the West, you've heard others, but now you've tuned into the best. This is a Prime Wave Media production.